Afternoon everyone, welcome to part number 5 of Club 5 here on the MyCareer save here on Football Manager 2024. My name is Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video where we're going to be playing top of the league, well, formerly top of the league, that's a minor spoiler, RB Leipzig in a proper top of the table clash, and we're probably going to continue talking about how Daniel Pitchford is a good player despite the fact that he barely knows how to score a goal when he's a striker, which obviously isn't ideal. So, since you were last with us, how have we been doing? We've been doing pretty well. Also, that was a new intro. I thought I'd give something new a go ahead of FM26. By the way, how excited are we all that FM26 is coming out? By the time you've seen this, it'll have been announced ages ago because I've had a bit of a backlog of making videos. But yeah, since you were last with us, how did we do? We haven't dropped any points. We haven't done anything other than win. It's been fabulous. So, Dortmund and Ajax for the last 2 games. Beat her to 5-1, that was lovely. So grabbing the final Champions League game 3-0, that meant that we finished top. That was glorious. Love that. Second, my former team. Third, my former team. That makes me feel really happy about what we've done in this save, that our 2 former clubs are the second and third best teams from a league phase in Europe. I'm very happy about that. So yeah, we did that. Beat Hamburger 6-1. Beat Dusseldorf in the Cup 2-0 with a slightly rotated team. And then we beat Werder Bremen 7-0 and Hoffenheim 4-0. We're battering teams, absolutely battering them. And what that means is, minor spoiler as I mentioned in the intro, we lead by a point in the Bundesliga, now level on games with Leipzig. They've had a bit of a collapse. They've now lost 2 games. Remember, I think they were unbeaten, I think, and that's what was doing us in, is that they didn't taste defeat. They've now tasted defeat. If we have a look at their recent fixtures, which I've not done actually, so this will be interesting to see. So they've drawn and lost in their last couple of games. Their last game actually was in the knockout playoffs, and they lost against Manchester City, but those 2 losses came... in fact, no, they must have lost earlier in the season. They did against Werder Bremen. Their recent league loss was against Bochum, but then they drew against Frankfurt, and that's what's allowed us to take over. So we now go into this. After they've started to drop points, they've lost in the first leg, their home leg of the Champions League as well. We need to take advantage of that. I'm just going to quickly show you, we've made a few transfers as well. Those transfers, that's the wrong page, Stu. I completely clicked on the wrong page then. Those transfers are not going to show up on here. They're going to show up on that previous page. Let's go back to that. So these are the ones that we're either signed or in the middle of signing. So I think you knew about Maliki. I don't know why that was such a struggle. Mashal Al-Maliki, I think we knew about that one already. I don't know whether that necessarily is going to be a good one. Actually, no. Did we know about that? I'm not sure whether we did. Either way, other than his consistency, he could be quite good. Maybe. We'll see. I've also signed, well, in the middle of signing Carlos Davies, who might have issues with living in another country. It's fine. I don't mind. I'm investing in youth with all of these signings. It's just bringing some youngsters in just to give some fresh blood to the club. But he's coming in. Could be a 4-star midfielder. Not spent a lot on him. Paul Rodriguez is another one who, again, only 4-star. He's a promising midfielder. Could be good, could be not. Let's take a gamble on him. The one that we've got who's definitely coming in, though, is this guy. He's going to be a stud. I mean, he's 18 years old. He's a minimum 4-star player, potentially a 5-star player, currently a 2-star player. May not necessarily agree with living outside of Spain. He's going to have to deal with it, though. And he is Vega. He has got a first name, Javier. What a name that is. And then we've got Pablo Dragun, who I'm trying to sign. He's a fullback who, again, 4-star. None of these are necessarily superstars, but they're good enough for me to be excited about them. And again, I'm thinking more for the future, mainly because we didn't have a good youth intake, or at least I've not seen it yet, but I've been warned it's not a particularly good one. But anyway, on to the main event of the episode. We're starting with that first, and then we'll have the subsequent event of the episode with the other game that I'll go over when we get to it. It's not going to be as exciting as this one. We have got, bear with me, sorry, 1 moment. Apologies. There was a fly in this room, and it's a really small room. It could not annoy me more than it was actually annoying me, so bear that in mind. This is the 11 against Leipzig, the top of the table clash that very well might be the game that decides the Bundesliga for this first season here in Germany. And this is the 11 that we're going to be going with. We are going to start with Kudjakov in goal, Tokic, Zabani, Lukeba and Medeiros in defence. We've then got Bernal, Solomon, Souza and Fati in the midfield. And we've got Pitchford and Alexeev starting up front. Squad news that we need to talk about. Mamardashvili's injured. That's not ideal. It's really not ideal. He's been out for a little while now. He's out for up to 2 weeks as well. But to be fair, Kudjakov, he's done decent job. He's not been doing too badly. And we've also had an injury to Todibo as well. I've fallen out with him big style. A, because I've replaced him with Zabani and didn't like that. And B, I had to leave him out the Champions League squad. I had to leave someone out. It was him. And also, Musiala has been injured as well. He came back in the last game, but he's still not fully fit, hence why he's on the bench. Cole Palmer's on the bench because he's allegedly not very good at the old big game. So I ain't risking it in a top-of-the-table clash. Just doesn't feel like the pertinent thing to do. So that's the 11. Let's see what happens. By the way, if you do enjoy today's video, do not forget, leave a like on the video for me and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the nonsense that comes out of this space right here. So, Leipzig manager Marco Rose. I believe he's a good manager. I believe he's a good man. My football knowledge in real life is not the best, I will admit. I definitely know the name. I just can't remember where I know it from. But he's a good manager. And he's obviously good because he won the Bundesliga last year. And up until the last couple of weeks in this season, he's been leading Leipzig to a second title, but then they have fallen apart a little bit. I feel like this is quite a classic Leipzig formation. I feel like I've seen this formation with the Leipzig team a few times in the past. Tell me if I'm wrong on that, but there you go. There's the glorious table as of the points ahead. Massively ahead on goal difference. By the way, Alex Zieve, currently the top goal scorer in the Bundesliga. He and Cole Palmer are the two best players in the Bundesliga. Now, we are not going to have Cole Palmer next season, so we do need to fill that void in the summer. Interested to see how our budget is going to go in the summer because we didn't have a big one when we joined here and we had to generate funds by selling players. Well, we're not going to have the players to sell. A lot of the funds I would be able to generate for the players I don't want, they're out of contract. We'll get their wages back, which is good, and Cole Palmer's on a hefty chunk of money. But yeah, I'm a little bit worried about what we're going to do in that regard, so we'll just have to wait and see. As it is at the moment in this game, we are currently on top, but yet to actually do anything to get ahead in the game. It's just all statistically on top at the moment. But we are in with the first highlight of the game. Zabani does really well to win the ball there. Get the ball to Alex Zieve. Pitchford offside maybe? Tell me he's not offside. He has scored a goal already actually. Scored a goal and got an assist. He's been playing well. But tell me that that is not offside. It's not offside. We have an on-camera goal for Daniel Pitchford. It begins. We only got him for this season. I'm not buying him next season. It'll cost too much more than anything. But this generation's Harry Kane, maybe not, but he has scored his second goal. First goal, I think, at the Allianz Arena. Alex Zieve with the assist. He's doing well on the assist chart as well. He's been fabulous. Might be in running because we didn't pay a lot for Alex Zieve. Might be in the running for bargain of the save. Genuinely. McRae, who's starting for Leipzig, remember that first season at Arsenal, he was sensational for us and had no right to be. He's probably the other player who's really in the running in terms of bargain. I can't think of anyone else who would be like, there's been players who are better than both of them, but they also cost the bomb. So, you know, you have to judge them in kind of a different category. Right, we managed to get the ball forward. Pitchford flicks it onto Alex Zieve. Is he going to return the favour? Do you know what? He is. He's going to return the favour. There's no question of offside, and it's 2-0. We might have just found our strike partnership. We might have to buy Daniel Pitchford. It's one game, Stu. Behave yourself. It's one game. But we might have to buy Daniel Pitchford. I'll be happy to buy Daniel Pitchford. Don't get me wrong. I like him. I wouldn't keep signing him if I didn't like him. I say keep. It's the second time. That might be enough. But it is 2-0, and our strikers working beautifully together as a pair of advanced forwards against the other best team in the league. We are all over them. It's a beautiful thing to see. Long may it continue. Let's go and get a third just to settle ourselves down even more. Look at the pressing. Look at the beautiful pressing. But yeah, I don't know whether I'll have released a video talk. Do you know what? Let me just hold on. There we go. I'm not sure if I'm releasing a video talking about it. I might do. I do feel burned out on FM24. I may have released a video talking about this by this point. I might even do it after I finish recording this. I haven't recorded the video in like 2-3 weeks and I've not missed it. So yeah, I'm getting bored of this game now. It's taken 2 years, mind. It's lasted well, but now we know FN26 is definitely happening. We've seen the footage. It looks great as far as I'm concerned. I'll probably release a video on my thoughts on it if anyone cares to see that. But yeah, I don't know. It's taken a long time for me to really start to feel like, ugh, okay, we don't have a better game. Don't get me wrong. I can replay games and have no issue with it. Don't get me wrong. I'm literally in my third playthrough of Cyberpunk at the moment. I love that game. I think it's fabulous. I can replay Mass Effect like no one's business. Daniel Pitchford has arrived in Germany, ladies and gents. He has arrived. 2 goals against the top of the table, well, the former top of the table team, the winners of the Bundesliga last year. And he's just going out here and just scoring a couple of goals. And then Xavier again, getting the assist. We have, look, even if it's just for one game, a one-game proper strike partnership. This is fabulous. Our strikers up front have been involved in 3 goals, either with goals or assists. Wouldn't have said that before the start of this game. Genuinely wouldn't have done. And we've, at the moment, reduced them to 1 shot. This is exactly what I was hoping for in this game. I didn't think we'd get it, but here we are. Right, Ansu Fati's going to come off. I'm going to bring on Musiala. And the problem is, Musiala isn't really... He's never really impressed me as an attacking midfielder. I wanted to start playing him here or here. But Vasco Sousa's come in. And Vasco Sousa's been good enough for the most part where I can kind of justify just starting him. Tell you what. We'll take Sousa off as well. He's not had the best of games. Let's bring on Merlin Roll and let him get some game time as well on the older side. But he still like has a performance in him every now and then. So let's bring him on to get some more game time. Lukeba can come off as well for Schnitzer. And we'll leave it at that for the time being. And then we'll have a look at maybe bringing 1 or 2 more players on. I've got my own Bayetic. We might bring him on as well. But we'll go with those 3 changes. We're leaving the strikers on. Having a whale of a time. I ain't taking one of those boys off. And yeah, we'll just see the game out from here. But yeah. Just started to kind of finally hit that lull of it's a bit of a grind playing FM. Now I've got it open and now I'm playing it, and it helps that I'm winning. You know, I'm having a lovely time playing it, but it's that initial getting into it. Once you're into it, it's fine. But that's the problem I'm having, is getting into it, and it's the first time I felt like that, which is good because it shows that I obviously how much I enjoy the game. But yeah, it's a struggle. I'm also thinking about content for coming FM25. And again, I'll probably release its own video about this, so I'm not going to go too much into it right now, but I'm already thinking about what we're going to do. It's going to be YouTube. Am I going to start streaming again? I haven't thought about it completely yet, but that's come back into my head. I don't know whether I will, but I don't know. I think I need to re-look at how I make content, because I have these massive gaps, and I'm making this video when I haven't released a video in 2 weeks on YouTube, and I don't feel good about that, but I also don't feel too awkward about it, because I just haven't enjoyed. It's not even just the recording of them, it's the making of them as well. And obviously I want to time it where I'm not encroaching in my time with my family. Do you know what I mean? So that's where it gets a little bit difficult for me. I'm not going to go too much into that because you don't want to hear about that. So yeah, anyway, lovely game. 3-0, unless someone scores another cheeky goal. I don't think they will. Daniel Pitchford with a 10 out of 10. They're going to score now, and I'm going to be very upset because we're going to lose a clean sheet. Not that it matters, because Mamadashvili, who was leading clean sheets, is not going to be in contention anymore because of the games he's missed, which is going to be disappointing. We've conceded. No, we haven't conceded. Kudryakov manages to kind of cover his goal well. It ends up being in the woodwork, so it doesn't matter. And there's full time. So title race flipped, and we kind of thought as long as we keep up with them, it's going to be who blinks first. They blinks, and, well, the rest might very well be history, because we now have a 4-point gap, level on games, but our goal difference is almost double theirs because of how many goals we've scored and how good our defence has been. So I'm really happy with that as a performance. Really happy indeed. Now, I think I was meant to play the game before this, because I'm pretty sure we've already played Darmstadt this season. I think we played them all the way back here before we played against Wolfsburg. In fact, I know we did, because I remember scoring 6. So, slightly awkward from my part that I've misjudged that. However, what will probably happen is we'll play this game. Between now and that game, or even around that game, we should know who we're playing in the Champions League in the round of 16. That's going to be huge. I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully, even though it's an away game, which we do seem to have to think about the away games every now and then. We're saying that we had 3 there where we scored, what was that, 14 goals and conceded 2. So maybe I'm talking out my backside on that one. Either way, the point is, we'll go to that game, and hopefully by the point we get to that game, we'll know who we're playing in the Champions League. Okay, just a quick aside before we get to the next game. Champions League draw is here, so let's see. We'll view it for once. I don't normally view it. I normally just skip it. Let's view it while we're here. Why the devil not? Right, so there They're the unseeded teams, of which we are not one of them. So we've got Atletico, Benfica, Porto, Galatasaray, Napoli, Man City, Lille, and Inter. So is it seeded versus unseeded? Is it that way around? Is that how it works? By the way, hello Vincent Company. You're a former Bayern Munich manager. You want us to win, surely. And then seeded teams, Arsenal, former boys, you know, PSG, Barcelona, Real Madrid, us, Sporting, Newcastle, and my other former boys, Wolves. So in theory, I think, does that mean that we don't face any of these in this part and we face one of these guys? Because if that's the case, then I would take Benfica, I would take Lille, I'd take Galatasaray, probably take Napoli and Porto. I'd like to avoid Inter, Atleti, and Man City. But I think out of all of them, Man City is the big one to avoid. You watch, they're the ones we're going to get now. So let's advance. So Porto from the unseeded pot. It looks like that is exactly how it's going to be. And we are drawing against Arsenal. So we don't have to worry about Porto. And it looks like we're not going to have to worry about Arsenal anyway. So that's grand. Okay, to the next round. We have got Lille. I'll take this all day long. All day long. Not having that. Barcelona. Okay, fine. The next team. Manchester City. Not this one. Of that. What a round of 16 game that is, though. Wow. Okay, so we've avoided that. I would like Galatasaray. I'd rather not have Inter, but I'd take it if it was what was offered. Don't just worry about it. In Newcastle. Okay, so next we've got Benfica. I'd take this one all day long. Right, Benfica. That's a winnable game. Not that they're not good. They are. But that's a very winnable game. We'll just finish the draw while we're here. So it's Napoli versus Sporting. I mean, I'd love Napoli, but that's a massive opportunity for both of those teams. Absolutely. And it's Atleti versus Wolves. And we've got the final one, which is Galatasaray versus Real Madrid. RIP Galatasaray. Cool. Great stuff. So we start with the away leg. It means we have the home leg second, which is the way around we prefer it. I'll take that all day long. Okay. I wasn't paying attention. I did the press conference for the game against Darmstadt, and then I didn't realise that actually it's been rearranged. So we're not playing that. So actually, I've now got the Benfica game away from home, which I wasn't planning on playing today. But it'd be rude not to. So here's what we're going to do. That's the wrong screen, Stu. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to play the first leg. I normally don't play the first leg of the round of 16, but I'm going to do that. Then in the next episode, I should say, I'm going to play that game, and then we'll see what happens in the Champions League after that. If we can get through in that round, I'd like to think we can. We'll come back for probably the quarter-final second leg. I feel like that might be the way to go and see how we get on. Again, this season is more settling in, but if we can win the Champions League in the first season, I'll take that. I'll take that all day long. So, I mean, it feels like the thing to do, doesn't it? So, yeah, we'll come back for Benfica and we'll see. Or do we just come back for the second leg? Do you know what? I'm thinking maybe we just come back for the second leg. I'm going to come back for the second leg. We're not going to do that. We're going to come back for the second leg, do what we normally do. So I'm going to play these two games, Benfica and Wolfsburg, off camera. And then we'll come back for the Benfica game at home. We'll come back for the second leg and see if we can get through to the quarterfinal. Okay, two games have passed. The first leg against Benfica and a league game against Wolfsburg. And all good. 3-0 against Benfica away from home. Really surprised by that one, especially because Daniel Pitchford scored another 2 goals. Have we fixed him? I don't know. He didn't score against Wolfsburg. I'll let him off on that one. He still played quite well. He got an assist in that one. We still won that 3-1. Solomon with a penalty, Musiala with a goal, and Alex Zeev scoring as well. So, really good going, which means that the Bundesliga is looking like this. Still 1 point ahead, but again, we do actually have a game in hand now. So, I mean, you know, what's not to love about that? So, we're going to go into this game against Benfica, basically already into the quarterfinal. It's not guaranteed, but we're more or less there. This is the 11 we're going to be using. Key thing what we need to mention is Mamardashvili. He's back fit. He hasn't played yet, so I'm thinking let's put him in this game because we're already doing really well. We're 3-0 up and we're at home on this one. So it feels like a safe bet to get him 90 minutes under his belt. But this is the 11 we're going to be using. It is going to be Mamardashvili, Tokic, Zabani, Lukeba and Medeiros in defence. Bernal, Solomon, Musiala and Palmer as the diamond. And then Pitchford and Alex Zeev up front. The only player who misses out is Todibo because he is not registered and he's still cross at me. Let's get to the game and let's see what we can do. He's actually technically in the squad. Let's get rid of him. Perfect. There we go. Happy days. Kudrikov is pretty much done for the season now. It's a shame. He's actually been a really good goalkeeper while Mamardashvili has been injured. So credit where it's due to the job that he's done for us. It has been an immense job. But now he's going to get in the bin because we don't need him anymore. Right, second leg. We're playing for pride here more than anything. So let's just see how we do. Let's see whether we can get a good result. More goals for Daniel Pitchford would be good. More goals for everyone would be good. Let's take it easy. Keep it simple. No silly nonsense. Let's just get through the game. But let's do it in a bit of style as well. We all like a little bit of style. Right. They clear the ball in the first highlight. We're in the 7th minute here, and it's us very much on the attack at the Allianz. Solomon now into Bernal. Bernal out wide to Medeiros. Medeiros running forward. I do wonder with some of the players that we let go who are on the fence about. People like Davies, Alphonso Davies. How would he have been doing this season? But Medeiros has been pretty good. And in the second half of the season, we've also picked up the other guy, Antov, who's going to be a superstar of a left-back for the future. And we've just scored, by the way. We are 1-0 ahead. Medeiros running down the line, gets it back to Musiala. Musiala picks out Alexiv, and Alexiv scores another goal for the season. He's, honestly, we'll have a look at how much he cost in a minute. Because, you know what, let me have a... Oh, no, we won't look yet. We'll look at the end of the game. Bargain of the save. I'm pretty sure in terms of actual quality and ability, he's the bargain of the save. I did mention Alfie McRae before. Alfie McRae is probably the maybe not bargain of the save because he's just playing better than his level. Like probably the surprise of the save because he was far better than he had any right to be. But in terms of quality, we know Alexiv was going to be fantastic at some point, but he got there really quickly and potentially going to be the golden boot winner or golden shoe. I don't know what the right phrasing is in Germany, but either way, he's going to win that in Germany, I do believe. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't. But 1-0, Musiala got the assist as well, which is good. I'm rethinking Musiala's position because when Palmer goes, we need someone to play attacking midfield. So Musiala did play in attacking midfield in the last game, didn't do a bad job, did score obviously, so I think we'll probably be looking to reposition him there. But then he was also playing a striker, so I don't know. I need to have a bit of a think about that. Bit disappointed to see Pitchford not having a particularly good game, but again, he had 2 really good games. I'm not going to overly analyse it just at this point. At the end of the day, he's done a good job with those couple of games. I'm going to let him have the occasional game where he doesn't play well. We let them come in there a little bit too easily, and I'm not overly happy about it, but I'm a little bit less annoyed about it than I would be because, you know, we're 1-0 up on the night, 4-0 up on overall aggregate. Arsenal, by the way, leading in their tie 1-0. Saka with a penalty. We don't have the Wolves game on. I'll check in on how they're both doing, actually, in the Champions League knockouts to see whether they're... living up to the reputation that we set, particularly with Arsenal winning the Champions League and with Wolves getting to a semi-final. Hopefully they're still doing quite well. Half-time looks like it is going to be 1-0. I'm okay with that. Again, Daniel Pitchford not having the best of games. Neither is Cole Palmer, actually, but then it is technically a big game. So we know that he's maybe not necessarily the best at that. We'll probably actually take Cole Palmer off. I don't think there's a need to keep him on the pitch if he's not having a good game. Musiala's playing quite well though, so let's take that, put him in attacking midfield and hope that he can translate it. I'm going to bring on Souza, get him some minutes, and do you know what? I'm actually going to take off Bernal and bring on Bajetic to get him some game time, and I'm looking at Roll, who can come on in the second half as well. Pitchford is going to come off at some point if he doesn't fuck his ideas up. But we'll stick with those 2 changes for now, more for freshness more than anything. And let's get into the second half. In fact, I'm going to have a quick word with Pitchford. I'm going to demand more from him and see whether we can get a bit more. He's dropped down to a 6.5 at the moment. Zabani's not having a great game either, so I'm going to demand more from him as well. The problem is, I think mentality in the second leg, if you won in the first leg, the mentality of the team is kind of like if you go in 2-0 at half time, you switch off a little bit. At least in my experience in FM24 anyway. Whether it will be any different in FM26 will be interesting to see. Right, Zabani nearly answering my criticisms there. Pitchford, by the way, has jumped up to a 6.8 quite quickly. So really, really happy to see that. I mean, my big head's in the way over here, but he's jumped up to a 6.8, which is really good to see. And hopefully he can continue that progress. Right, Castello into Solomon. Solomon over to Musiala. Musiala out to Pitchford. Pitchford, he's going to get an assist or a goal. Into an assist for Alexiv, who gets another goal. And Pitchford, he's played his way into staying on the pitch. He's answered the call, and he's done a very good job. Fair play to him. And this is the thing. As long as one of my strikers is banging in the goals, I don't mind if the other one is playing well and maybe not doing it. I mean, he will chip here with the occasional goal. He's kind of almost doing a bit of a Bobby Firmino in the way that he's scoring goals every now and then, but he's actually an assist machine, and he's actually linking up with everyone else quite well, linking play quite nicely. I'm pretty happy with him, I've got to be honest, and it is making me think. I don't necessarily think we're going to have much money next season, but we might blow the lot of it on him, because Arsenal won't want him, because they were happy to offload him this season on a loan for the quality of player that he is, rather than try and sell him. Vasco Sousa, by the way, he just scored a ranged header. I really hope this isn't disallowed, because I really, really enjoy this goal. Hands up, hands up. It's not been disallowed. Vasco Sousa with a cheeky goal. I'll play well in the last couple of games. Good to see him getting a goal here. Solomon just looks up, waits for the run. Beautiful ball. I just love how far out that is. And in fact, he's not a very tall player, but he just goes, just rifles it in. Lovely stuff. Really, really happy with that as a goal. 3-0. Doubled it. Really happy with that as a result. I'm quite content. I've got no complaints. We'll take Medeiros off for Antov. And I'm going to take Sopsic and bring him on as well. And I think my final change is going to be probably Chatzi. We'll bring him on for a little bit. Or maybe even Ansu Fati for the final 10 minutes. Might make that as the final change as well. I might take off... I can't take off Alexei when he's not on a hat-trick. That feels like sacrilege. I don't really want to take off Pitchford because he's played his way back into the team. It's probably going to be Chatzi in that case then, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be Chatzi. We'll take off Zabani. Not had the best of games, so Chatzi can get a few more minutes under his belt and carry on building up his match fitness. Not played recently. Fell out with him a little bit, but actually we've kind of come around on him a little bit, but I probably will try and sell him in the summer. Hopefully we can get a good chunk of his fee back. We're not going to make money on him. We're going to lose money because I overpaid for him. We were desperate for a centre-back who wasn't over 30. And I went a bit silly, I think. So we'll be looking around for another centre-back who's a bit cheaper, I think. But if we can move him on and get a decent amount of the feedback, I'll be really, really happy. Right, ball forward here for Benfica. It's not the end of the world if we concede here, but it would be nice if Mamardashvili manages to return with a clean sheet. It's not the end of the world if it doesn't happen. I thought, as I was talking, that's exactly what was going to be the case there. Not the case, though. Arsenal 3-1 up. I don't know what that is in relation to their tie, but we have won 6-0 overall, and that's a great, great result. Alexei with 2 goals. Musiala and Pitchford chipping in with assists as well, and then Solomon gets an assist by helping his midfield partner, Sousa. That was a very good performance, and it puts us in good stead going forward. Arsenal are through, by the way, 5-3 on aggregate. We've also received a bit of money, which we do kind of need because the finances are kind of like they were at Arsenal, i.e. not good. Medeiros will be out for the next game, so we do need to get him some game time in just to start to kind of get ready for that. The semi-final, so quarter-final is going to be starting on the 5th of April. So what we'll do is we'll do what we normally do. We'll come back for that. I might also include the Pakal in that game. And then we'll do an episode dedicated to the semi-final, and we'll just keep an eye on the league, maybe. I don't know, but we'll come back around in this kind of area. We'll decide what we're going to do then. But I'm really happy with what's going on. I'm really happy with this save. And again, although I have been a little bit checked out of FM24, this little session of playing these games has actually got me back into it a little bit. So hopefully that will continue. That is the table. 1 game in hand, 1 point ahead. Massive goal difference on the rest of the league, which is great. And just to confirm, Alex Eve, he's out in front of the top goal scorer in the league. Cole Palmer second. Cole Palmer, Alex Eve and Tokic are the 3 best players in the league. Cole Palmer is the assist leader with Alex Eve leading not leading, but he's in second place. And Mamardashvili, he's 5 clean sheets away, but bear in mind, he has not played, if I just quickly show you, 1, 2, 3, 4, he's not played in 5 games. So, you know, it is what it is. Whether he would have got clean sheets in all of those, I don't know. One of them was a Champions League game, so that wouldn't necessarily have counted. But Mansell, I tell you what a season he's having. How old is it? 34. If he was younger, I'd have considered him with that kind of record. But you know what? Mamardashvili's done a good enough job for us this season. I'm not too worried. Right, we're going to leave it there. Next time you see us, it's going to be around here somewhere. We'll decide what we do at the time. And fingers crossed, we can get ourselves through to another cheeky Champions League semi-final. That's the plan. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, do not forget to leave a like on there for me and hit that subscribe button as well. Because if you do, you'll make me a very happy chap. I've been Stu, you guys have been awesome, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.